Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Less Fun Tibrix, and this is my review of the Lego Minifigures Looney Tune line from back in 2021. You guys enjoyed my review of the Disney 100 figures so much, I figured why not go ahead and do the other series I have the complete collection of. As I said, this series came out in 2021, and each figure would cost $5 a pop. As someone who basically grew up on the Looney Tunes from the moment he knew what cartoons was, this was a wave that I, like many other people, was very much looking forward to. So let's go ahead and start looking at all of these wonderful figures. So starting off, we have the Wabbit, the myth, the legend himself, Bugs Bunny. A figure I was very happy to finally see become a Lego figure. He's got good detail on his head. He's got, like I said, good detail. He's got good details on his head, and the whiskers, eyelashes, those classic Looney Tunes eyes. He's got good aim for the mouth with the buck teeth, and tongue. One thing of note is, you'll notice that the light gray on his chest doesn't exactly is a bit dark for it, which unfortunately you will find as a bit of a consistency throughout this line, where the coloring on the torso or leg printing the color of the main piece just kind of bleeds through. But other than that, you also got some good details on the feet. On the back, of course, you got his classic rabbit tail, and of course, it wouldn't be Bugs Bunny if you didn't include a carrot. A simple two-piece design, but it's quite obvious what it is. But hey, he's gotta have a carrot when he says, "What's up, Doc?" Alright, next up we have Lola Bunny. One thing of note, you guys may not recognize her outfit in this figure, because I was taking a look, I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember seeing this in Space Jam. And long story short, it's not. At least not in this coloring. In Space Jam, for the coloring of this would be the tank top would be white, and the purple pants would be blue jean shorts. This turns out this look actually came from the Looney Tunes DC Comics series. However, outside of that, this is a wonderful figure. Love the little detail of the knot around her ears, giving her that classic ponytail look. Again, good details on the eyes, much more human eyes than that of Bugs. Good look on the eyebrows and eyelashes. Of course, an even cuter rabbit nose. Like I said, good luck with the tank top and pants, classic boots, and you'll actually notice that her legs are dual molded in purple and pink. Interesting color design. Good detail on the back with the rest of the tank top and even a more classic bunny tail. And of course, since it's Lola, her accessory is a basketball. Good looking figure, although personally I think I would have preferred the classic white Toon Squad outfit, because again, that was her first appearance, so why not? Personally, I'm not a fan of the new Legacy Toon Squad uniforms. I much would have rather preferred the classic white from Space Jam 1. But either way, this is a good looking figure. And next up, we have Wile E. Coyote. You'll probably notice right off the top, like what I mentioned with Bugs, where the coloring on the torso and the ears doesn't exactly match, where the light coloring on the ears and torso doesn't exactly match the part on the face. But other than that, this is a wonderfully designed figure. I just love the classic look of Wile E. Coyote's face. Other than the coloring, the printing on the torso is well done, and on the back you'll see you have a a attachment for his tail. It is a soft rubber. I believe this is also the attachment they would later use for Rocket Raccoon, or did they use that for him? They probably, actually, now that I think about it, they probably used the attachment for Rocket first, because Guardians 1 and 2, that probably came out before this wave, but they use that same tail for Wile E. Coyote. And his accessory is a simple but very effective build of a anvil for his constant traps. And next up, we have the character that most people are probably most worried about when transferred into a Lego form. We have the Roadrunner. And actually, he's actually one of my favorite of the characters. Again, a little interesting transferring the Roadrunner into Lego form, but I think Lego did about as well as they could. Good attention on the plume of his head. Good molding all around for the face. Especially right here with the beak. Very well done. He's got a rubberized tail attachment, and probably the most unique Lego arms we have ever seen, where instead of his arms we had the wings. Not to mention probably the first ever visible Lego neck. And then not a whole lot of detail on his legs, with the exception of two little lines on the front depicting his two big toes. And naturally, his accessory, very fitting, is of course a bowl of his favorite food, bird seed. Actually reminds me, between the accessories for Wile-E and Roadrunner, actually reminds me of one of my favorite gags from one of their cartoons. Of course, Wile-E sets up a bowl of bird seed for Roadrunner in the middle of the road, which he naturally stops and immediately starts devouring. But as the camera pans up, you'll see Roadrunner is on top of one of those big ledges he's always falling off of, and he's got a trapeze wire set up. So the idea is he will walk across that trapeze wire carrying the anvil, and then once he gets to the middle, he would drop the anvil on the Roadrunner. But this being Looney Tunes, physics aren't exactly natural. So as soon as Wile-E starts walking across that trapeze wire, it bends all the way down to the road, and instead Wile-E finds himself standing right next to the Roadrunner. It's like, well then, I guess I don't need the anvil, I'll just grab him. Which ends up ending disastrously for him, and he ends up shooting off like a cannon and across the sky, leaving Roadrunner to eat his birdseed in peace. Sorry, I just had to mention that. It just reminded me of that cartoon, of that particular segment. One of my personal favorites. And, of course, like I said, these figures are fantastic. They look great together. Speaking of figures that look great together, next up we have one of Looney Tunes' most famous duos. First off, we have Tweety Bird. Of course, he's got those big canary eyes. Look at the little detail at the top with just a couple of feathers sticking out the top of his head like you usually do. Not much detail on him. Just a little mark on the front. He's got a teeny little tail on the back. And much like Roadrunner, he's got a couple of lines in between his feet, showing off the separation between his feet. And of course, he has just something you'd see in basically any Looney Tunes cartoon, but certainly something you see him using quite often. He's got himself a giant mallet. He got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Is for the mallet. Very simple build, but also very effective. And next up, you can't have Tweety without the putty tat. He constantly taw. We've got ourselves Sylvester. Again, wonderful molding on the head, good look on the eyes. As I mentioned before with Bugs and Wile-E, there's constantly an issue like with the like you'll see with like the torso print and his ears, where the white just comes out more gray than it does white. Like I said, you'll find that as a constant through this entire series. But other than that, wonderful figure. He's got attachment with quite a unique tail with just a little bit of white. Almost makes me wonder if this tail is supposed to be dual molded. Honestly, don't know. But it almost looks like it could be dual molded. Like the painting on this just looks too good to be painted. It looks like this simple part at the middle is molded. But again, good attention to detail. Love the little the split between the black and white is not just a straight line where you can't see where the how the fur kind of transfers from black to white, where it's not just a straight line. And you'll see he's got a little detail on his feet for his paws. And again, much like Roadrunner and Wile-E, these guys look great together. This is a great classic duo. Would have been very disappointed if these two didn't show up. And next up, we have Daffy Duck. Another wonderful addition to this collection. Wonderful detail all on the beak, especially here. Like you look underneath, you can see where it opens up, and you see his mouth. Actually, good look on the eyes. Just a little detail of a couple of feathers popping out, much like Tweety. He can't believe they actually managed to get that white stripe along his neck, but they managed to do it, and it looks good. Just a little just a little mark of a few feathers sticking out on his chest. Yes, I believe that is a unique rubberized mold for his tail. Oh, he's got dual molded legs of black and orange. Don't see any markings on his feet, but then again, and I guess it would be a little difficult to get that to transfer over, because with his feet being webbed instead of actually having actual toes. And I love his little accessory, his rabbit seat and sign from probably one of my favorite. Might be my favorite Looney Tunes cartoon, Rabbit Fire. Which I'm actually kind of disappointed that Bugs didn't come with his duck season sign. But all in all, another great character. I absolutely had to be in this line. And next up, we have the fastest mouse in all of Mexico, Speedy Gonzalez. He's probably got the most unique head mold in this entire series, where he's got the head and the sombrero. A little disappointed that they weren't able to get the red line, and that's usually on his sombrero, but good attention to detail with the hair and the whiskers. Good look on the eyes. Of course his torso is rather plain, but they did get at his tie. Yeah, I believe that's a unique mold for his tail. And of course, I think he's got probably the best of the accessories. He's got four pieces of cheese on cheese slopes, and those cheese slopes are printed with cheese holes. That's like I said, probably the best of the accessories. So simple, but I can't believe they actually did printed cheese slopes. That's fantastic. Oh, and then of course I forgot to mention the marks on his feet to represent his toes. Again, good looking figure. Love that they added him in this line. And next up, we have the Tasmanian Devil. Love that look on his face. They absolutely nailed his angry look. You notice, pardon me. There we go, that took a bit of doing. Yeah, again, now that I got it off, you can see just how unique his head mold is. Of course, they have to get that big mouth. The front half is actually bigger than the back. So quite a unique head mold for this character. Not a whole lot, as you notice, not a whole lot of detail on his torso, because, well, his mouth is covering up the whole thing. He's got the same tail as Wile E. and Coyote on the back. Just has a little detailing on the front for his toes. And since this guy is always hungry, his main and his accessories are a pie and a chicken leg. But this is not the only thing he has. He also has this disc piece. He said it is printed, and you'll notice it's got a inverted tile on the bottom. So, well, the idea is you stick Taz onto it, and then with the inverted tile, you're able to just spin him around to kind of try to mimic that tornado move that he's constantly doing. Not very effective. That tornado move is why that plate is printed. It's supposed to make it look like a tornado. Personally, I probably would have had brown markings on there instead of the blue that you see on it. Because you'll notice that the tornado is always brown, because he is. But a nice little addition. Don't think it works as well as I was hoping for, but still, it's a absolutely fantastic looking figure. And next up, we have Marvin the Martian. Another character I would have been rather disappointed if he didn't show up. Probably the least decorated of the figures when it comes to torso printing. I do believe, this helmet, as you can see, it's dual molded, so the little attachment on the front, it's not something like you just, where like there's a hole in the helmet and you just stick it on. It is molded. I gotta admit, without the helmet, those eyes look kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the most unique, just regular minifig helmet, minifig head. But I gotta admit, those eyes are creepy when you don't have the helmet on. Of course, his accessory is a blaster, is plastic Lego blaster in a lime green. And again, probably the least decorated when it comes to torso printing. It's just a regular red torso with white hands. And he's got his little, I don't want to say skirt, but I'm not sure what else to call it. It is in the, it's in the more of the hard fabric than the soft fabric capes that have been showing up in more recent years. It is more of a rough fabric. Again, unfortunately, you'll notice with the detail. Well, they did get some good details on those shoes. They look a bit more pink than they do white. So again, the classic bleed through problem we've been seeing through the series. Other than that, I don't think they could have done this figure any better than they did. And next up, we have probably the figure that is the most left field out of all these. We have Petunia Pig. Honestly, I was rather surprised to see her on the list. You guys may not really know her from the cartoons. That's because the majority of them came out from between the late 1930s and early 1940s, where she looked quite a bit different than she does in this figure, of course. Of course, that's not too surprised. All those cartoons were in black and white. She actually didn't get this look until quite a bit later. Actually, the only reason I even knew who she was, believe it or not, of all things, a Little Golden book that I used to have as a kid. So quite a left field choice for this figure, probably because due to guns, they didn't want to add in Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam. Probably Elmer Fudd, if any of he probably is the more iconic of the two, but instead they went with her. Admittedly, for this figure, she does look good. Good mold on the head, and interesting look with the twin ponytails. Was do like the addition of the ribbons at the end. Pretty basic torso printing, just a little detail on the collar. Or she's got the hard plastic skirt piece in red, and good details on the leg printing and toes. And her accessory is a teapot and cup. Again, I would have undoubtedly preferred either Emma Fudd or Yosemite Sam, but for a figure I wasn't exactly expecting, or even looking forward to be honest, they did a good job on this figure. And last, but most certainly not least, we have Porky Pig. Again, of course, good details on his face, lovely little in the eyebrows expression, and making that happy surprise for look where he's seen on Porky. Good detail on the tie. Unfortunately, once again, the torso print on his skin doesn't quite match up with the head and legs. Like I said, this problem, as you guys saw, it popped up throughout the entire series. Is rather disappointed with Lego's quality with these figures. For I was looking forward to them so much. Which, it's the same thing, the same problem on the back where it shows up just on the bottom, just a little mark on his shirt, and then of course his curled up pigtail. His legs have the same markings on for the feet as Petunia. But of course, the pièce de résistance for this piece is that printed "That's all folks" tile on his sign. Wonderful addition for the end of this series. So, now that we have taken a look at the entire line, again, I can't help but mention it, the quality control was, I don't want to say abysmal, but it definitely needed some work on these figures. Like I said, Bugs, Roadrunner, Sylvester, Porky, they all suffered the same problem where they're supposed to be showing off like their skin and fur, and it just doesn't match up to the rest of it. Lego definitely needed to work on the quality control. Other than that, this was a fantastic line. Again, the most left field one would probably be Petunia, because again, they didn't want to deal with guns, and so they didn't throw in Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam. But honestly, I'd love to see another line of these figures. There's so many more characters they could do. Like, you got Sylvester and Tweety, so where's Granny? Or where's the dog that's showing up with them? Where is Foghorn Leghorn and the dog he's all dealing with? Or Henry Hawk? Again, Elmer and Sylvester. Like, you don't want to, like, maybe, like, you could do Sylvester, Yosemite Sam, in other ways. If you don't want to do him the cowboy, well, that's just fine, because he did just fine as a pirate as well. And considering all the pirate stuff Lego's been doing recently, between Pirates of Barracuda Bay, we just had El Dorado Fortress release a while back, we had the Creator 3-in-1 pirate ship. Obviously, Lego is just fine doing pirate sets. So that's just fine. Make Yosemite Sam a pirate, and boom, he's fine. And admittedly, I'm probably gonna go on a bit of a rant here, but I am also disappointed that we didn't get Pepe Le Pew and the cat he's always chasing, who apparently name is Penelope. Don't get me wrong, I'm well aware of the controversy that showed up with him when it was initially announced that he was going to be in Space Jam: A New Legacy. I just also feel like it's rather overdone. Like, if you guys were so mad at him, why'd you bother to wait this long to say something about it? And again, I very much agree with what Chuck Jones' daughter said, is that all the country of him, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He did not promote what you guys think he's promoting. And it certainly, and Warner Brothers certainly don't think what he's guilty of is funny. What's funny about those cartoons is that A, he doesn't realize that Penelope is a cat, not a skunk, and B, his pungent odor when sent her and anyone else running for the hills. You guys don't believe me? I actually mentioned it in one of his cartoons. He doesn't even realize how badly he stinks. So much so, he doesn't even know what the word pew is until he's like, why does everyone keep calling me pew? I gotta look up what this means. So he pulls out a dictionary, looks up what it is, and is like, oh no, it can't be. Can it? And then someone looks at him and is like, pew! It's like, oh no, it's true. And to his credit, he literally cleans up his act. He goes and cleans himself up. So admittedly, I am disappointed that Pepe and Penelope didn't show up in this wave. Again, there are so many more characters that Lego could do if they wanted to do another Looney Tunes line. I honestly don't know if that contract with Warner Brothers has run out yet. But if they could, I think they absolutely should take advantage of it and make another line of these characters. But that is my thoughts and reviews on this wonderful minifigure line. If you guys can get a hold of these guys, and of course, if you have any interest or love for the Looney Tunes cartoons and for this line, I would absolutely recommend it. I've had these guys sing on the top of my entertainment center ever since I got them all, and I gotta admit, I just love looking up at them. It's a wonderful line of characters. I would actually absolutely recommend getting them. I'm sorry I don't have the sheet, the collection sheet for this figure line anymore. I'll make sure to add a picture of it into the video as I load it up. But again, this is the end of this video. Thanks for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody!